It's Gina Mayo from Music in Our Homeschool. Today we are going to talk about utilizing virtual private music lessons in your homeschool, the pros and the cons, and some tips. As you know, things have gotten kind of crazy here in 2020, but there have been some good things that have come out of it. And one of those is that a lot of private music teachers have figured out a way to teach their lessons from home, from their home to your home, virtually. And so we are going to talk about the pros and the cons and some good things about this and some ways to make it work better for you and your family. So pros. Obviously, if you're not having to hop in the car and drive to your piano teacher's house or studio, you're saving a lot of time. It makes it a lot easier for your schedule, a lot easier to fit it in. You're not having to add in that extra gas or that extra tiredness. I know that there was one period when I was having to drive pretty far for a violin teacher, and I would get so tired in the car when I was pregnant. And so I figured pretty quickly that I had to stop that. But finding a teacher virtually makes that all better. Also, if you have other kids, you don't have to drag them along or find other childcare for your children. There were many, many years that I taught my homeschool in the car while other children were inside doing their lessons, or we would run over to a nearby library and use one of the rooms. It worked, but it would be a lot nicer and a lot simpler to just be at home. Another pro for utilizing virtual private music teachers is that you get a broader range of teachers to choose from. Maybe your child plays a really unusual instrument and it's hard to find a teacher for them. Or maybe they've reached an advanced level and they need an advanced teacher and you don't have someone in your area that teaches that advanced level. Maybe all the teachers in your area are booked up. Their studios are full and that's not working out for you. Or you live in a very small town and there's not a teacher there. So this makes it possible for you to find someone. Another pro is that even though you're not getting the recital experience because one of our piano teachers, the advanced teacher, moved online this spring, and we did not get to do a recital, but what they did instead was they had to record themselves on video. And I realized that that was actually teaching another level of a skill that my students had not done before because none of them had recorded a video like that before. They were still working toward perfection, just like you would if you were going to perform in front of an audience, because they knew that video was going to be lasting and they wanted it to be great. So they worked really hard at their piece to get it done. But there are some cons to using a virtual music teacher. And a lot of these have to do with the technology, which is improving all the time and it's always getting better. But at this point, there's still some cons there. And one has to do with what you're seeing visually. Now, the teacher might have set up for himself or herself more than one camera angle. So maybe if they're teaching piano, they'll have an overhead camera so the student can see what the teacher is doing from overhead and a side view angle and can switch back and forth to help the student see what they're doing at the piano. But usually the student is only going to have one camera using their phone or an iPad or something, so just one angle. And it makes a little hard for the teacher to see everything that the student is doing. Now, one workaround with this is that the teacher will tell the student to turn a different way or to face their camera a different way to see something different. For example, I'm a voice teacher and I would want my students to turn sideways so I could see whether their jaw is jutting out or whether there's tension here or whether their back is straight or not. I'd want to see what they're doing with their feet in a particular position and how they're breathing, high or low. So different things like that. And the teacher knows what they need to see to make sure that bad habits aren't formed or that they're not missing something with the technique or form. So they will tell the student how to do that. The other con has to do with sound. And like I said, things are improving, but still there's Wi-Fi issues where sound can be delayed. Um, I was talking to a private French horn teacher a couple of weeks ago who had to switch all of her lessons online with her high school students this past spring. And she said it really actually worked pretty well, except that she could not hear dynamic changes. She could not hear whether they were playing soft, it sounded loud all the time. So she actually had to ask her students, did you play this section soft? Did you decrescendo here? Did you crescendo there? Because she could not hear that. But she could hear correct pitches, rhythms, and other things that she was trying to teach the students. So those are the pros and the cons, and I sprinkled in a few tips there to help you be successful. And I have a blog post called musicinourhomeschool.com/virtual music lessons, where you can find all of the things that I listed here today, plus lots of recommendations of how to find a teacher. There's some websites that have teachers that you can choose from, or I have a Facebook group. To search Music in Our Homeschool Facebook group, and there are lots of private teachers in that group that are looking for students. Every Thursday morning, I have a thread where they're advertising their website or their contact information, and just head over there and find some teachers. And I hope that you will have fun with this new idea for adding private music lessons in your homeschool. If you have any questions, just contact me through my website and I will be happy to talk to you. Bye-bye.